Hello and welcome to the University of Chester's virtual campus tour. I'm Zoe, one of the HE advisors, and today we are going to be hearing all about the Faculty of Science and Engineering. This includes the departments of Chemical Engineering, Computer Science, Electronic and Electrical Engineering, Mathematical and Physical Sciences, and Mechanical Engineering, and also Biological Sciences. These are all taught at our Parkgate Road Campus. If you have any questions today, please feel free to ask them in the live chat. We have a whole host of students and staff ready and waiting to help you. Later, I'll be joined on the sofa by some of our students to hear about their experiences of living and studying at the University of Chester. We'll also have the chance to introduce you to our great campus facilities and examples of our accommodation. Firstly, let's go over to our academic staff who are going to show you the facilities that we use to teach our programmes.
Hi, my name's Steve Wilkinson and I'm Head of Chemical Engineering here at the University of Chester. And today we're going to see some of the facilities that we've got in the Faculty of Science and Engineering. And these facilities will be available to you when you come here in 2021. We're building purpose-built labs with chemistry, biotechnology, physics, computer science, and we've also got a workshop, again brand new, which is going to have mechanical engineering and other engineering disciplines.
Okay, hello, my name is Graham Smith. I'm the Acting Dean of the Faculty of Science and Engineering at the moment, but I started out as a physicist. I did a physics and electronics degree and followed that up with a PhD in experimental solid-state physics, and really became absolutely fascinated by the subject and by the techniques that I was learning and by the broad range of skills it let me do. And it was clear to me right from the beginning that what I wanted to do was to set up something that would help students gain the sort of experience that I'd had through working in different institutions and different places across the world, really. So it's really important that they had both the theoretical knowledge and the practical hands-on experience. So we invested quite a lot of money in laboratory facilities, in the kind of equipment that I wanted students to be able to use in the future, proper professional quality industry standard equipment of the kind that we've used in this laboratory here and that we will use in our new facilities. So we've got a lot of equipment that the students use in the first year, optics kits, interference diffraction experiments, radiation experiments, experiments on looking at the atomic structure and energy levels in atoms as they emit light of various different wavelengths. And this is then helped by the experience they get working alongside scientists and engineers in other disciplines. Maybe they do some mechanics experiments, dynamics, some practical work, some materials science work as well. And then as they move through the years of the programme, the experiments become increasingly more sophisticated. So in the second year we look at solid-state physics, looking at effects of quantum mechanics on materials, and we've got various bits of kit and apparatus that help with that, looking at things like magnetic properties, thermal properties, electronic properties of materials, Hall effect, and so on. And then as they progress into the final year, they take a step on the way to becoming independent investigators or independent researchers. And they do a final year project. The final year project might be computational, theoretical based, or it could be a hands-on practical piece of work involving, in some cases, access to state-of-the-art equipment, in other cases more kind of improvised experimental work, the kind of thing that an experimental scientist might do. But at the end of all that, I hope they come out with the skills, the knowledge, and the problem-solving abilities that they can use later on when they go into industry or into academia or whatever career path they choose to follow.
My name is Gavin Hazel and I'm the programme lead here for chemistry at the University of Chester. I've worked in scientific research for around about the last 10 years, and I took up a lectureship here at Chester around about 3 years ago. My research interests really are in materials chemistry, where I spend my time trying to develop novel surfaces that are able to kill bacteria. And you might one day find these in medical implants such as hip replacements and replacement teeth. I'm currently in our undergraduate teaching laboratory. This is where we do all of our practical chemistry teaching, and you can expect to gain a solid grounding in analytical, physical, organic and inorganic practical chemistry in these laboratories. And I think something that really sets our chemistry program apart is the fact that we allow students to use very complex pieces of equipment for chemical analysis. And these are used in research and industry. The nice thing about your time here at Chester is that you will be allowed to use this equipment from day one. And what we aim to do as a program team is really train students who are ready for the world of work. In terms of the teaching style of the laboratories, you can expect to be taught in quite small groups. And again, this gives a really kind of personal touch to our teaching here and allows students to gain the maximum from their laboratory experience.
My name is Rhiannon Taylor. I'm a lecturer in mathematics. I joined the university in 2011 as an undergraduate student and I never left. I done my 3-year degree and then my master's and PhD, and now I work alongside the inspirational academics that inspired me into research. You will be taught on Parkgate Road for your maths degree. We have lecture rooms and seminar rooms, and we use a lot of computer labs as well. We use our smart boards so we can write everything on our whiteboards in the lectures and then upload our notes so that nobody misses anything.
I'm Andy Williams, Senior Lecturer in Energy and Thermofluids here at the University of Chester. I spent about 20 years working in the automotive on and off highway powertrain and energy sector, looking at things like emission after treatment technology, energy transfers within vehicles and energy efficiency. I've spent most of my time working on research projects with industry and are continuing that here at the University of Chester. Our students here at the University of Chester take advantage of our facilities to get a broad range of practical experience that they can apply in their careers to make sure they're successful. The equipment behind me, for example, allows our students to be exposed to fundamental manufacturing techniques and technologies which give them the understanding they need to be able to design successful products in the future. As well as this manual machinery you see behind me, we have a suite of computer numerical controlled or CNC equipment that our students then use in the later parts of their degree programme to deliver on things like their projects and their mechatronics work. In terms of energy, we've got a range of equipment that our students can explore the behaviour of thermodynamics and fluid mechanics. For example, turbochargers of automotive vehicles, superchargers, and also the behaviour of fluids at high speeds, for example, using our supersonic wind tunnel.
Hi, I'm Dan. I'm a recent graduate in mechanical engineering, which I finished my master's this year. I headed up the Formula student team, which you can see the chassis here is what we're currently developing. We're hoping to develop our first working vehicle by 2022 to be able to enter the competition at Silverstone. So the Formula student team are designing the different parts of the vehicle to manufacture on site and also buy parts independent on if we have the capability of manufacturing. So we do have some parts which are manufactured. So we manufactured this upright, which was designed by the students and manufactured using the VMC in the other room. And also we manufactured this hub using the CNC lathe, which was also designed by one of our students.
Hello, my name is Maria Satenka and I'm a lecturer here at the Department of Chemical Engineering at the University of Chester. I've been working in academia and research and development for more than 10 years. I was teaching chemical engineering for 4 years. At the same time, I provided some consultancy support for various companies. And recently I launched my own company. So now here in the department, I teach students and at the same time I give them an opportunity to work for the company and to participate in the development of products. So we've got research projects with students and they come here to the lab and we use different facilities here. We've got different analytical techniques. We have FTRA, UVVs, XRD, XPS, SEM, TM, and we use those methods to analyze our samples. We also have biological facilities, biological cabinets, shaking incubators. We have fermentation stations, so we can conduct different types of experiments here, and all our students have access to all the research facilities here in the department.
Hi, my name is Lee Beaver. I'm a senior lecturer here in games development. I've been in academia for about 7 years now, and I've been working on various research projects and games development projects as well. And outside of that, I've been working on my own personal games development projects as well, including the Dungeon Defenders games. So here at the university we have quite small groups, so no more than usually 30. We have some brand new machines here as well, so these are really good machines. Actually, they've got 9th gen i7 processors in them, they've got 32 gig of RAM, they've got NVIDIA 2080 Supers and 1TB NVMe drives. So really quick machines, everything that you need really to be able to succeed while you're here at the university.
Welcome all to this tour for the Biological Sciences. My name is Dr. Krista McLennan. I'm one of the deputy heads of the department. I also teach on a number of the undergraduate and postgraduate programs we have here. This is the Thomas building. Let me take you on a tour. Welcome to one of our research laboratories. So this is our microbiology lab. We have a number of other research labs as well around the building. And this is where both undergraduates and postgraduate students will be getting involved in research, as well as staff as well. So this is one of our teaching spaces. This is particularly our physiology lab, hence why we have our skeletons. And at the moment we're set up ready for some teaching, so you can see all the microscopes out, and we also have our examples here of our planaria species that are going to be used particularly for this practical. So this is our animal lab. Here you can see we've got fish behind us. We've also got our snails, we have our gecko, and we also have a tortoise too. And these are often used in both undergraduate teaching but also dissertation projects, along with some of our master students as well. Welcome to one of our other teaching laboratories. Here you can see we have a practical set up and students are ready to get going. Welcome to Old College. So this is another one of our teaching laboratories. As you can see, it's a very large laboratory. All our laboratories have just recently been refurbished. As you can see, we have things like iPads on every station, and we also have a lot of our technical equipment as well throughout this particular building. So multiple workstations for students to get involved, again, while they're doing their practical teaching.
I'm now joined on the sofa by two of our current students. We first up have Kirsty, who is studying history.
Hi everyone.
And we also have John, who is studying law.
Hi guys.
But before we start quizzing you about what it's like to be a student here at the University of Chester, we're just going to take a look at our university life tours with you, Kirsty, at our Parkgate Road Campus.
Hi, my name's Kirsty and I study history. Today I'm going to show you around the University of Chester's Parkgate Road Campus. Come and have a look around. Parkgate Road is where you'll find many of the university's central facilities, with the main library, sports facilities, student accommodation and the Students' Union all located on campus. It's everything you need, all in one place. In the centre of Binks you'll find our info point, filled with approachable staff here to offer you help and guidance whenever you need it. We also have our brasserie and grab and go Starbucks, perfect for that time you want to take a break. Next we'll head on over to the library. Seabourn Library is the main university's library and it is in the heart of the Parkgate Road campus. As well as a variety of books, journals and online resources, the library also offers bookable study pods, perfect for group or individual study. There's also 24-hour access computer suites, perfect for those late night study sessions. The library is also staffed with subject-specific librarians that are on hand to help with whatever you need. There's also a cafe downstairs, ideal for that well-earned study break. Opposite the library, we have bookable study spaces available for both staff and students. You just book it online and then you have a guaranteed workspace. Chester Student Union is also located on campus. Our students select who they'd like to be their officers, and they then represent the students' voice about issues inside or outside the university. The Students' Union is here to support you on campus, whether you're looking for guidance or help with societies. I'm part of the History Society and I found it so helpful to make friends here on campus. The SU is a fun, relaxed space. We have lots of different places for staff and students to eat on campus. Our gourmet burger house offers a selection of mouth-watering New York-style burgers, all made with delicious, locally sourced ingredients. Next to the Students' Union, we have the Hub, which has an imaginative menu with lots of different meals, whatever your dietary requirements are. What's even better is that the Hub has its own wok bar and pizzeria, and all of the dishes are made with fresh, natural ingredients. If you fancy meeting up with friends on campus, then the bar is the perfect place to do just that. Whether you're in the mood to try out a new cocktail or just unwind and play a game of pool, the relaxed, chilled atmosphere makes this the ideal place to hang out. Parkgate Road has many sports facilities on campus. This is the fitness suite where there are qualified personal trainers here to offer you help and guidance whenever you need it. We have a variety of different membership options available to suit all sorts of different lifestyles and budgets. The fitness suite has over 100 pieces of equipment and is also where you'll find our 25-metre swimming pool, spin studio and dance studio. At the bottom of our campus, you'll find a multifunctional sports hall that staff and students can alter the space of depending on the type of sport they want to play. Near to the sports hall, we have the floodlit AstroTurf, used frequently by our sports teams for sports such as hockey or lacrosse. We also have a floodlit 3G mugger pitch, which is great for sports such as football or rugby. Next to this, we have the 60-metre running tracks and both tennis and squash courts. And finally, our Parkgate Road campus is home to the Careers and Employability Department. They are on hand to give you help with your career planning, whether that's mock interviews or looking over your CV. It's for people that are currently here or graduates for up to 2 years after graduation. Thank you for joining me on this tour around Parkgate Road campus. We hope to see you soon.
So as I said, Kirsty and John are both currently studying here at the University of Chester. So we are here today to talk to them about their experiences studying and also living here in Chester. So let's start off with why you chose to come to the University of Chester.
I'll take that one. Well, I chose the University of Chester mainly because it gives me sort of a home feeling. I'm from a very small island in the Caribbean, and just coming here and just being able to see the same faces over and over again, it's just like felt like I was sort of solidified in the university already.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And yourself, Kirsty?
Yeah, so I really liked the city itself. I think it's just filled with so many beautiful things. You've got the river where you can go on a pedalo, you can walk the Roman walls, and it's not too big, it's small enough you can walk everywhere. As somebody that doesn't drive, it's a perfect city for me.
100%, I definitely feel the same about the whole driving thing. It means that we're not adding to the pollution as well, which is great. You get to walk everywhere or go on your bike or anything like that. So you've both said about it being quite a small place to live or anything like that. Would you say that helped you with the jump up to coming into university, living on your own and things like that?
Yeah, well, I think it definitely helped me. I think where it's such a small campus, and as John was saying, you really get to know the faces around you, it's meant that I've been able to get to know my lecturers a wee bit quicker. So then they really offer tutorials to you and options to you, and it helps you settle in and feel comfortable within your environment.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, and I can concur with what Kirsty said. Just having that small feeling, you know, is like you always have that help that you need. For example, you know, whenever I had an issue, I can go to Student Futures and I can speak to one of the ladies there, and she remembers my name. So every time I go there, I'm just like, oh, John can help you. So it's just that, you know, all those little things sort of helps, you know, stepping up from school to university.
Yeah, so it helps give you a real community feel, I suppose,
Yeah.
yeah? Because it can be quite scary, can't it, when you're coming from either college or sixth form, coming up to a university. So how did you feel specifically supported by your lecturers in your departments?
Well, I can touch on that. Well, particularly with my PAT, she's been a massive help, you know, with my entire studies and ensuring that I have the necessary tools to be able to take on life after university, particularly setting me up into different programs, for example, going to London to do a Lincoln's Inn dinner to meet barristers and judges. So things like that sort of does help you, just having a small sort of campus where you're just being able to just talk and meet all your lecturers, not having to be all over the different, you know, parts of the campus.
Yeah, perfect. And while we're there, can you just give us a little bit more information about how it works with your PAT, just for people who maybe don't know?
Well, basically your PAT is your personal academic tutor, and what that person is sort of your liaison whilst you're at university. If you have any sort of academic issues or any personal issues, they are your best go-to for references once you leave university. So it's always best to have a great relationship with your PAT, because you don't want to send an email to someone and be like, oh, can you write me a reference? And then they don't know who you are. So I think it's best to always have that good relationship.
Even if it's just a quick cup of tea to say hello and check in.
Or just a knock on the door to say, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, which is nice that you can just knock on the door and say, hey, I'm here, by the way. Perfect. And yourself, Kirsty?
Yeah, so I just think with the smaller campus, as John's already touched on with the PATs, but it's not even just your allocated PAT that you can go to. All of the lecturers offer these tutorial times, and it is supposed to be there so you can run through either your plans for assignments or any struggles that you're having. But it is just that time to go in and have a conversation. At the moment, I'm trying to think about where I'm going in the future, and I've spoken to so many different lecturers who are just there to support you and give you ideas, especially on Zoom at the moment, just with a cup of tea. It's quite nice.
How would you say that your time at Chester has really shaped your career ambitions then? Who wants to go first?
Well, I'll take that on with Kirsty giving me the look. Basically, being here at the University of Chester has put me in a position to be able to look at my career goals more clearly. I was assisted by one of my lecturers in putting me forward for a Lincoln's Inn dinner. Basically, it's where you go down, you meet barristers and judges and stuff like that. And you get to have conversations with them and just get a bit of insight as to what it is exactly that you're going to be taking on in the future. And just being able to do that sort of made it much more easier for me to say, okay, yeah, this is something that I really want to do, and I think this is going to be the future for me. So that was joined by the careers team and with the liaison from the law school, which is one of my lecturers. So she basically put this together. We had to put ourselves forward for the best candidates, and luckily I was one of them. And I went on to London, this very, very beautiful building, and we got to interact with all types of judges, being from high courts, Supreme Courts, and things like that. So it was really good having done that.
Nice.
Yeah, so John seems to have a wee bit more direction than me, but I have found that before I came to university, I really wasn't sure about what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to do this degree, but the department, the humanities department, has really let me sort of explore my options. We've done archival work, we've volunteered at museums, we've been able to get all these different opportunities with us. But as John was saying earlier, that careers and employability team, they are so helpful. I've gone for many one-to-ones with them, and it's just opened up all these new job ideas that I've never even thought of. So I still want to continue in academia, but at least I now have more thoughts as to what I want to do.
Oh, lovely. Have you used any of the other support services at the university?
Well, I have. I've gone for the Careers Employability Fund. Basically, it's this fund that you basically apply for. It's £500, and they put it towards anything that you think personally would help you to enhance your career. And I used that to go for a French course last year, which was really good. I got to go over my French skills from when I was in school and now, but sadly, I didn't get to finish, so because of circumstances, but it was really, really helpful. And they've put something in this year where you can go on and do that again. So having done the Careers and Employability Fund set me up a bit more in comparison to other students who may be going for a job when I go for that job. So I think that's quite helpful.
Yeah, lovely.
I think adding on to the different sort of teams that are there for you. I know there's learning and support, and they're normally around in the library, and I found them so helpful when I first turned up to help me sort of with how you do your referencing or where you find journals, what books will be helpful. And I know the library team themselves have subject-specific librarians that are just on hand to help you go through your research and figure out what sort of systems you can use.
Yeah, perfect. Have any of you joined any sports or societies during your time at Chester?
Yeah, so I joined History Society last year, and I'm currently on the committee now, and I've just found it so helpful to make friends with like-minded people, and it's actually been really nice because we have sort of like charity events that we do, and last year we raised money for Chester Aid to the homeless by a pub quiz, and it's just that social environment, but you're also doing something good alongside it, and I've genuinely loved my time with that society.
Well, I am a part of the tennis society, as well as the mooting club in the law school. I think tennis society is quite great because some days you can be stressed out with classes and all the coursework that you've got going on. And just being able to hit a few, rackets and balls over the net every now and then sort of helps you out to just release some of that stress. But that also being in the mooting club is also great because it gets to makes you practice your advocacy skills, especially if you want to be a barrister or want to be in the legal field, just want to be able to publicly speak in front of anybody. I think that's really good, and I think that sort of shaped me a great deal whilst being here at the university.
And would you say that being part of a sport or society has not only helped you socially, personally, but also with your academia in terms of have you gained any skills to help you with your career in the future, anything like that?
Yeah, so I feel like the History Society, it's kind of not only allowed me to discuss with fellow peers about what they are wanting to do in the future, how they are going about it, but we've also done sort of like walking tours and visits to museums and things, and you just get closer to the community, and it's allowed us to explore the public history field of things, and it sort of ignited an interest in me to take people on walking tours. So I think even if there's not anything explicitly like, because of this, we're going to look at this, it just allows you to explore options a lot more in a chilled environment.
Mm-hmm. I'd say like being in a tennis society, like you said there, it's quite good because you do get that social aspect, especially if you're coming to university for the first time. And you don't really know anybody. You get to meet all these people who have similar interests to what you do, whether it be playing tennis, or you might meet someone on the tennis society who's from your course, and you can say, "Oh, I'm doing this," and then you can have a chat with them. So it sort of creates this sort of social bubble for you, and you don't have to necessarily break out of your shell just that yet, because you've got that initial interest within someone else from a different society. And also with the mooting club as well, like Kirsty's mentioned, it's just the fact that you've been able to further go into depth into what your prospective career might be. With law, it's looking into case law, it's being able to recite case law, it's being able to use the language that you use within a court. So all these sort of things sort of ties in. Whether it may seem different, but it does ties in quite well, and it helps you with your journey whilst you're here.
Lovely, thank you very much. So one last question for you. I'd just like to know, what is the biggest thing you're going to take away from your Chester experience with you?
Would you like to start this one?
Well, I think the biggest thing I'll take from my Chester experience is to be a bit more organized. I am organized, but not enough, especially with the department that I belong to, where there's a lot of reading, there's a lot of extra reading, there's a lot of stuff you need to do behind the background. And going into the career field that I am going into, that's something that you do really need to be able to be organized. And I think being here and having that university experience itself sort of solidified that that is something that I do need to work on, and I am currently working on it before we come to the end of my studies here at Chester.
Yeah, so I think I'm unfortunately going to be a wee bit cliche, but what I'm taking from the university is confidence, is happiness with what I'm doing. Before I turned up to university, I was so confused with where my life was going. I was having an existential crisis every day, but now I've got here, I've really found my place. I found what I want to do, and the support, the teams around you have just given me enough confidence to go out and get it. Never did I think I would be volunteering to answer some questions for people, but here I am, and it's because of the community at the University of Chester.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very much anyway for all of your answers, and to finish on that was perfect. Thank you so much. It's been lovely to talk to you today anyway. Thanks again. Accommodation is a really important aspect of your time at university, and something that a lot of you have asked to see. So let's take a look at some examples.
At Chester, all university-owned or partnership accommodation is located on or close by the Parkgate Road Campus. It's just a stone's throw away from the city centre and within walking distance to our academic sites. We offer a range of accommodation types and different styles, from small self-contained houses to large traditional halls of residence. So whether it's a shared kitchen or studio, or ensuite or shared bathroom that you're after, we have something to suit you. We also offer full board, semi-catered and self-catered accommodation. So if cooking isn't your strong point, why not let us do it for you and dine at the hub? There are also a range of partnership and private sector accommodation options in and around Chester for you to choose from, like the brand new student accommodation complex Tudor Place, located just a short 5-minute walk from the Parkgate Road campus.
Does anyone actually commute in, or do you both live here?
I live in Chester.
I live on campus as
You
well.
both live on campus, all right, perfect, yeah. And what student accommodation do you currently live in?
Yeah, so I live on the towpath, which I got through Student Roost, and it's beautiful. It's on the canal, there's lovely walks around, but I really chose it because it gives you a double bed, it gives you an ensuite, but you also get that shared kitchen so you can meet other students and still socialise. And it's really not that far from campus.
And John, what student accommodation have you lived in?
Well, I did live in on the Parkgate Road campus accommodation, so it's just right off from the university. And I currently live in a private accommodation, but my first year I lived in the Glenesk House. It's a little farm cottage out in the Chester on the Parkgate Road campus. At first I was like, why are we here? But then it sort of like, it's really good because you get that peace and quiet in comparison to all the other houses, which are very close knit to each other, and people might be partying and stuff like that. But as I, progressed into the year, I went into private accommodation, which made it that much easier for me because I can choose what I want, and I think that was really good for me as well.
Have you got any advice for any students that are looking for accommodation at all?
I'll touch on Kirsty's point. I think if you are the type of person that likes to be on your own, go for a private accommodation. But if you're looking for a person, you're the type of person that may be not so confident and you want to make friends within your first year so that you can carry that on towards your final year, I would advise that you take on university-owned accommodation, maybe a shared accommodation, or even in halls, because you get to meet people of like minds and like interests and stuff like that. For me personally, first year I've done university-owned accommodation, and I've met people that I personally can say I can see myself being friends with after university. So that's quite good.
Well, I've really enjoyed talking to you both today, so thank you very much for your help today, Kirsty.
Thank you.
And you as well, John. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you very much.
That brings us to the end of our virtual campus tour today. We hope you've had a real insight into the University of Chester and what it's like to be a student here. However, if you do have any questions at all, please feel free to pop over to our website. You can speak to our students there via UniBuddy. So if you do have any questions, ask away. And finally, from me, thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you very soon.